Let's take a look at Forgotten but Unbroken.
What did he say his name was?
Gebatron.
Hello everyone, I am Gebatron, and in this video we're taking a look at a game that's in the earlier stages of development called Forgotten but Unbroken, being developed by Centurion Developments. So what is it? Let's just read what Centurion Developments has to say. Forgotten but Unbroken is a tactical, turn-based strategy game inspired by XCOM, but offers its own unique take on the genre. Meet historical World War II heroes and fight against the elite fighters of the Third Reich. It's time to lead the resistance against the Axis forces to help liberate Europe. Now, I've never played XCOM, but I am familiar with that style of game, and being a World War II game, I was interested in it. I got involved in their recent playtest, and I'm here to give my first impressions. First thing is always check out the options, and you'll see we don't have any. So this brings me to the first point, which is the game is in early alpha. Pause to read this, but there is a lot missing from this game right now. The devs really wanted to stress that there is much more coming to the game, and this playtest is really designed to get feedback so they know when and how to implement features, etc. They also mentioned bugs, but I'll tell you right now that I didn't really encounter any in my playthroughs. Just one noticeable one we'll talk about here shortly. That doesn't mean they don't exist, but I didn't see any other than that one, and we'll talk more about some of the potential upcoming features as we go. So let's click New Game, and we have 2 missions available to us for this playtest. Our first one is located in Czechoslovakia, and we can read about it. The interesting thing to me is at the bottom here where it says mission outcome. The way this playtest is set up right now is that when you finish a mission, you don't get anything. It just takes you back to the mission menu. But this information indicates to me that we'll be able to accumulate currency and gain influence with different factions. For what? I don't know. My rough guess would be for better weapons, special abilities, maybe more soldiers, but that's all speculation. If we read about the next mission, you can see we'll get things like medicine and ammunition, as well as influence with the Soviet Union. So it's hard to say what this stuff will be used for specifically, but it does appear that there will be some sort of economy, and we'll have to do some sort of macro scale managing of our operations, and I find that encouraging. You know, we're going to get more than just a few fun scenarios, and we're going to have to manage something a little larger. So let's go back to Czechoslovakia. It's the easier of the 2 missions, and it takes us to a briefing. Here we learn more about our mission. There is one thing I don't really like here, and that is these tips. They kind of tell you how to beat the mission, and it's just a little too much for me, but it is possible that these are here just for the playtest to help us better understand how to engage with the game. Something else interesting here is the intelligence report. This gives us some detailed info about what we are going to encounter, but way at the bottom it says reliability of process information 60%, and I'm just not sure what that means. I'm going to speculate a little here, but maybe we can either buy information or send spies in to gather intel to increase this percentage. Like up here it says undercover operatives, and further down it reads other important information or risks unknown. So maybe we'll be able to do things to increase our level of intelligence. So why would that matter? Well, if we click accept, it will take us to our team screen, and here we can organize and equip our team. Perhaps having better intelligence will help us more appropriately equip our team. In any event, here we can learn more about our characters, organize their equipment, etc. And you can see there is quite a bit that is not available to us for the playtest. The most interesting would be attributes and perks. Perhaps we will be able to improve the performance of our soldiers, providing they survive. You can also trade equipment between soldiers. Like here, I take the grenade from my medic and give it to my sapper. Something else you'll notice here are these little squares in the weapon slots. Maybe there will be attachments or improvements we can make to our weapons with our mission earnings. Who knows? There's a lot of potential to this game. So enough of this, let's click on Start Game. We get a little more info about our enemies here, and a quick rundown on the controls. Let's talk about the HUD. Our characters are indicated along the left-hand side, with our currently selected character indicated at the bottom left corner. Off-screen characters and enemies are shown with these little shield-looking indicators. You'll also notice these enemy indicators across the bottom middle along with percentages. These indicate the enemies our currently selected character can see. The percentages indicate how likely our character is to score a hit if they fire at the enemy. We'll talk more about this soon. Charlie Summers is our selected character, outlined in yellow. We can see their name, their health, 100 out of 100, character level, level 2, and their available action points. Action points are used to, well, carry out actions. Actions can be anything from moving to firing your weapon, aiming your weapon, throwing a grenade, or any other special action. Different characters have different amounts of action points, and I'm not really sure what that's based on right now. We don't really learn just in this playtest. This is speculation, but I am fairly confident that we will be able to increase these as we play the game and our characters gain experience. Let's talk about movement first. You'll notice this highlighted area that looks kind of like a box surrounding our character. This indicates the maximum ground our character can cover in one move using all of their action points. You'll also notice here by this barrel where it says 30 AP, and then you can see a shield that looks like it's half filled. That 30 AP indicates how many action points it will take to get to that position. So if we were to take our character and move them here, it would cost us 30 action points, and they would have 2 left over as they have 32 total action points. The half-filled shield indicates the quality of cover. So this barrel and this fence offers us medium quality cover. One piece of feedback I have is that I'd like to see our movement line be a different color than our box line. Maybe blue or a green color would help it stand out from the other gold colored lines. Hitting the Q and E keys will turn the map, giving you a different perspective. Another small piece of feedback here. Right now, hitting Q or E will rotate the map a predetermined amount. I would like if that was not the case, and if I could have more control over the map rotation, similar to how, like older real-time strategy games usually do it. Moving over buildings or other visual obstacles will make them transparent, so you can fight and move inside of buildings as well. I'm going to go around the whole map now so we can get a sense of map size. Keep in mind that this is just one map. The other mission in the playtest has a very similar sized map, but I would imagine that there will be different size maps once we get different mission types further on in development. As you can see, the map isn't huge or anything like that, but it is adequate for what we have going on here. There's plenty of cover for us to use and plenty of avenues we can take to engage the enemy. Let's talk a little bit about the look of the game, or the art style. Now, typically I like my games to look very realistic. I like games like Tarkov, games like Hell Let Loose, games that really help you feel like you're there because it all looks real. Forgotten but Unbroken does have a little more of a cartoonish look to it in terms of player characters than some of those other games I mentioned. However, it doesn't go so far as to take me out of the experience. It still looks like World War II to me, especially the environments. So I could see where maybe, the look of the game could turn a few people off, but I didn't have a problem with it, even though this isn't my preferred art style. That being said, I would like to see a little more detail in the uniforms and the characters and enemy models cleaned up a little bit. It all still looks a little rough around the edges because of that cartoon style, and of course because it's really early in development. So hopefully they make some improvements to these character models as time goes on. Note down here that Peter can only see one enemy, and we only have a 6% chance of hitting that enemy. But Peter is our heavy weapons expert, so we want him on the MG. Now he only has 4 action points left, and we can see the firing arc of the MG here. Now let's move our medic, Gabriel. I don't want him too far away. Kind of want to keep him in the middle of everything so he can heal people if we need him to. Gabriel had 47 action points, and we only used 12 to get him in position. We still have 35 AP, which is plenty, so let's attack. I'll click one of the highest percentage shields down at the bottom, and it instantly takes us to an over-the-shoulder view with that enemy targeted. You can target these enemies individually out in the field as well. On the left of the screen, we can see controls, and at the bottom center, it shows us some stats including target type, damage range of a hit, 20 to 40, current enemy HP, current hit chance, And finally, amount of action points it will take to fire, 18 over our total available action points of 35. Now we have a lot of action points available, and we can do something that increases our chances of hitting the enemy. You are able to aim by using additional action points. So if we click the right mouse button, you'll see our action point usage goes up by 4, from 18 to 22, and our hit chance goes up to 34% from 24%. You are actually able to aim 2 times provided you have the available action points to do so. We do, so we can increase our chance to 44% by using 26 of our available 35 action points. Let's fire by clicking the left mouse button, and we score a hit doing 46 damage. Now Gabriel only has 9 action points left. I'll speed things up a little bit here. I move my sniper to a flank where there isn't much cover for the enemy to advance on him. I move my sapper to the right front flank as he has grenades and an SMG. A lot of cover for the enemy to use over there. Here is a little bug as we can't see Nevin's weapon while he's selected. He's going to guard our rear. And finally, Peter is going to support our MG. Let's click end turn and watch the enemy do their thing.
Schnappt euch die Schweine! Friss das! Drecksack! Drecksack! Verfehlt!
We are still in good spots, so let's just try and take some of these guys out.
Sir. Eat this. Monsieur? Mange ça.
The MG doesn't fire at a specific target. Instead, what it will do is fire along its entire arc, as you can see here. The first time I played this mission, I had one of my characters in front of the MG, not thinking it would make any difference. And when I opened fire with the MG, I found out that there is friendly fire in the game. So you can't just put characters, all over the map, not expecting any consequences, which I was happy to see. I think that's a good design choice. Nuance and game mechanics like that can help make the world feel more authentic. So we have Nevin here guarding our rear, and I'm just not sure what I want to do with him. Do I take him out and expose him, or do I just leave him here? I'm not sure, so I explore a couple of the special orders you can give soldiers. One's called Hunker Down, and the other is called Overwatch. Overwatch costs 21 AP and says, will fire on the first enemy that moves within your line of sight with a small aim penalty. Hunker Down costs 16 AP, saying doubles cover bonus and provides immunity to critical hits. Sounds perfect for defense, so let's do it. You'll notice our character had 32 AP, and even though Hunker Down only costs 16, it will also end that character's turn. So make sure you do other actions before selecting Hunker Down if you want to, as this action cannot be reversed. The first time I played this mission, I did not use either Hunker Down or Overwatch, and it was a mistake, so you'll have to incorporate these abilities into your gameplay if you want to be successful. Our medic takes out another enemy, and let's see what they do.
Fahrt zur Hölle! Fahrt zur Hölle! Daneben!
The second wave has started and we get some more info on our new enemies. And here's a good example of where they could improve some of the visuals in the game, as this model doesn't look very good to me. I will say that the in-game models do look better.
Tak jest. Idzie, Danie, idzie! Co?
Bin getroffen!
Goodbye, Nazi.
Our medic gets another one but has AP left over, so I decide to move him closer to our character that took damage earlier in hopes of healing him next turn.
You got it.
The game will let you know if enemies are either out of sight or out of range.
Attentie.
We have a couple enemies bunched up here, so let's use grenades.
Grenade!
I'll try to get the perfect throw here, and you'll notice the two different shaded areas in the throw arc. These simply indicate damage. So enemies nearer the center receive higher damage than those more towards the outside. Nice visual indicators for us. It doesn't happen here, but one grenade is capable of killing enemies.
Vive la France!
Rozkaz, szefie. Dzień dobry.
We have enough AP to fire the MG twice, but you'll notice it can overheat. I like this as it stops the player from, just stacking bodies here and just firing the MG with all your characters. So good forethought by the devs on that. Not a bad round. Let's see how the enemy responds.
Fahr zur Hölle. Schneller, schneller! Tötet sie alle! Scheiße!
Here I was trying to figure out how to heal, but I couldn't do it. Perhaps it's not available in the playtest, or maybe I just didn't have the proper inventory, but whatever the reason, I could not heal my other character. So that mechanic remains a mystery to me for now.
Die Duppe.
Monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
Vive la France!
Panie? Gincie, dranie! Gincie! Idź do diabła! Die, bastard, die! Granat! Attentie!
Schnappt sie euch, Jungs! Verfehlt! Fahrt zur Hölle! Verfehlt! Friss das!
Sir. Eat this!
Baas.
Pretty good round, even though we get a big miss here. We've eliminated the enemy towards our front, so now it's time to surround our remaining threats.
Je bouge.
Ty Polacy nie muszą pomocy, a my nie wszechni ludzie.
Robi się.
Yes, sir. Eat this. Cover me.
Ik ga lopen.
Du Schwein!
Go there.
Baas. Fijne reis.
Okay, we got
Nazi.
all of them and kept our team alive and mostly healthy. Here you can see our stats. So the mission was a point defense style mission, so we didn't have to do too much moving around. I'm sure we will get more varied missions as time goes on. Another thing that some missions will get is unique support. Like this mission had a heavy MG that was quote unquote provided by the British, while the second mission has a single artillery strike that you can use that's provided by the Soviets. So in order to make that one work well, you have to kind of try to funnel the enemy into a certain area. So I wouldn't wonder if some of the stuff we can do with the resources we earn is allow ourselves more of these unique abilities. Let's quick talk about some other stuff that may be coming to the game. According to Steam, you will be able to build, upgrade, and manage your base and recruit new comrades. Meet and fight alongside real heroes of World War II or face feared fighters of the Third Reich. Down here it says impress your allies, and we already talked a little bit about that earlier. Train your specialists, and we're going to be able to learn more about a real story of resistance during that time. But you can learn much more by checking out their Kickstarter page. Here you can see goals and features and learn more about the details of the game. You can see here that time is running out on this campaign and they haven't met their goal yet. So they need our help, guys. And just to add on here, sometimes even though these Kickstarter campaigns don't meet their goals, they can still be successful. This recently happened to another game I follow called Project Z. They did not meet their Kickstarter goals, but there was enough interest that the game was picked up by a publisher. Now, if you contribute to this Kickstarter campaign and it does not reach its goal, you will get your money back. Well, actually, the money isn't even taken if it doesn't reach its goal and your transaction is simply canceled. But if we get enough people to go on that Kickstarter and contribute, then even if they don't reach their goals, they could still get picked up from an outside publisher or an investor of some kind. So check out their Kickstarter and get involved. Also check out their Discord where you can give your feedback directly to the devs and learn more there too. And finally, you can join this playtest yourself via their Steam page or via their Discord. I'll link to all these pages down in the description. So get involved. Your feedback can have an impact on games like this when they are in early development, and it's a lot of fun watching and being a part of a growing game. So that's Forgotten but Unbroken. What are some things you'd like to see in the game? What's your feedback so far? Let us know down in the comments. I hope you liked the video and find yourself getting involved. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I'll be following this game for a long time. Check the description for links and for a pinned comment for updates. There will also be links down there where you can help support the channel. Consider becoming a channel member for perks, including early access to videos. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.